Hello friends, this is Amy and welcome to my channel. Nice to see you. This is one of those little hair donuts they call them at Dollar Tree, and I think they're meant to make some kind of a bun with the hair somehow. I have seen some creators making a little pumpkin with these, so I wanted to give it a try. And so just get out your yarn that you have on hand and just start wrapping around. And I imagine if you had the thicker yarn, the quicker it'd go. All right, so I'm getting towards the end here and just showing you, I'm just making a knot and, adding more yarn to it. Sometimes it's hard to know exactly where that knot ends up, but in the end, it actually adds to the look of the pumpkin, I think. You see I've got some knots on the bottom. And then when I got done, I was like, it's really thin. So I decided to do 2 rounds of yarn. So now it's a little thicker and we're ready to put in our little piece of branch. These are also from Dollar Tree. You can get those little bags of little twig parts. And just add that in with some hot glue. And then of course we want to add a little bit more to that, like some pip berries and just some little things on there to add to it. And a little hot glue to hold it in. Those pip berries are fun. I have found those at Dollar Tree as well. Also in your, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, I've found things like that. You just kind of pick them up as you see them, and white goes with everything. And so that's always a good one to pick up, or this cream color, I should say. And then these little leaves, I've had them a couple of years, and those I got at Hobby Lobby. And of course, you want to do it when they're on sale. And here I was going to do something with this, but I decided to not, but I ended up using it on the next project. And here's our cute little pumpkin. It was really quick and easy to do. Well, let's keep rolling here. DIY number 2. So these little papers I do have on my Etsy shop. If you're interested, they've got at least 1 to 2 colors of the same blend. They're not all the same, but they'll be in the same, color family. Like that other orange was a little darker. And I'm just going to use paper, and I'm going to cover up this Dollar Tree box. And just removing some of that paper was loose, so we didn't want that to come off. And I'm using a very sticky double-sided tape. I like to use the stuff I get from Stampin Up because it's like a tear tape and it works really nice. And so it goes off, and it has a cover, and then you just peel it back, and you can just see how nice and sticky that is. And then just peel off what you need, and I'm just using some cardstock just to cover up that edge. Glue would work for this as well. Sometimes I choose to do my tapes just because they're not as messy. That tape, I kid you not, it is really good. It sticks really good. And I ended up doing a couple strips. And now I'm going to also do that on the top of the box. And try and get it close to the edge. And if you're doing a glue stick, same thing. Just get to the edge so nothing's frayed up and peel it away. Now sometimes when you're trying to line things up, especially when it's got lines in it like this paper, it's better just to tip it upside down and go that way. Otherwise, you don't know where your box is, where the paper is, and it ends up being crooked just about every time. And so this ended up working better just to line it up on your square piece of paper, because that's square, And then you can use a nail file to take away the edges and give it a nice, crisp, clean edge. Now these are just cute little fronts that they're kind of meant for tiered tray, and that's a Chalk Couture product. And so I'm just going to put some tape in it, and I want to tape that white part, make it orange. One coat did it. And then I didn't even let the paint dry, I just kind of peeled it off. And everything looked really nice when we got that all peeled off. All right, I happened to find some very small little, it's an alphabet set, and wanted to just put Hello Pumpkin on there and see how it turned out. Of course, you want that paint dry for this part. And just using not necessarily a StazOn, but just an ink pad. And just pressing that down. The thing with stamps is you want to make sure you give them time to, the ink to settle into whatever you're stamping on. And try to make sure things are, if you would to stamp that and get some black on part of the block, clean that off so you don't get it on your design. I have made those mistakes many times, so I'm, know from experience how that works. And here again is that cute little pumpkin. And so I put this on top of the box, and for some strange reason, I thought it needed to be white. It would have worked fine just to leave it as is. You know how it is, you do something, you're not sure. Well, I don't know. It works both ways. I like it without, and I like it white. What do you guys think? Just put a little paint on it. And those lines were cute, kind of added a little bit something to it. So then when everything was dry, I just got out some of my wax and just added in some brown to kind of give it a little more dimension. And there it is. I guess I like the white too because it kind of goes with the paper in the background. Fun little thing, easy to do. Just a few steps more. If you're liking my channel, I encourage you to like and subscribe. Liking, tells people this is a good video, and YouTube will keep putting it out there. Now I just want to show you too, this is another fun and easy one. Thought I could just put some glue on there, and that's wood glue, and leave it overnight. It didn't stay. So I ended up getting a drill and drilling 2 holes, one in each part, using the glue and a toothpick, and then it stayed. Then you've got some stability there where that stick is not going to come off. And for sure, put more glue on if you need to. And then let that dry, and we'll carry on here. So now I'm just going to prep some burlap with Mod Podge. It was meant to kind of give it some stiffness. And then I was wanting it more white rather than the burlap color, so I did add in a little of that white paint and let that dry. It's one way of adding color to burlap to give it a little bit more, versatility. And just cutting out a couple of leaves to put on this little cute little pumpkin. And the main thing is to cover that little hole. I had pre-drilled all these because I was going to make them into ornaments, which I still might. but I just wanted to use one to show you this cute little pumpkin. And then I've got some orange pip berries. And they need the little curly Q. Curly curl. And you've got your hot glue ready to go. And then we'll work on those leaves. So I'm putting the leaves on and I'm thinking, well, it's almost looking like I'm putting a cape on this thing. I don't know. I was just going with it, trying to cover it up, and you could still see it when I got these on there. So then I got out my cute buttons and we marked on there like I've had some thread in there. Popped it on, called it good. Ta-da! These would be cute in any size. This happens to be a little one. You could make it a hanger, you know, you could put a string in there somehow, or make them as big as you wanted, depending on the slice of wood you had. Last but not least, number 4. Now, in a previous video, I had did some tea staining with a cotton kitchen towel. This is what I ended up doing with part of it. And I also wanted to show you, look at these little cuties that I got, and I will link this lady's store. She does a very nice job of making personalized labels for your sewed items. These little labels would actually, you could iron them on or sew them on like I did. Now we're just going to make a small pillow. You'll always want to start out doing a back stitch. That way it gives it a nice, you know, nothing's going to untangle that thread and make it go, you know, where it shouldn't. And then just try and keep it as straight as you can and use your guides as needed, and you're using those pins to keep things in place. And then when you do a turn, leave the needle in there, turn, and then carry on. And then when it's all done, of course, don't forget to leave an opening for when you want to stuff it. But here I'm just trimming it along, and you want to make sure you get your corners, if you've got much for a corner, so you don't have a bulky corner, and just trim it off at an angle. And then you can see where I ended up leaving the hole. Inside that out, use something to kind of poke out those corners, and there you go. And now I need to stuff it and finish up the bottom, which I did. And look at how my bottom looks. That's not gonna work. So then I ended up stitching along the entire pillow, which didn't take all that long, and it was actually fun. It added a lot of cuteness to this pillow. What do you guys think? And there's a cute little tag, the hen house, which is going to be in my store. I mean, in my house, a little store in my house. It's coming up. I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek of that when everything's set up. And here is the final. We'll go through one more time. I hope you enjoyed my video and it gives you some inspiration to make some pumpkins yourself. And now I'm moving on to Christmas stuff. We got lots of Christmas ideas to get out to you, and we will see you in a week. Take care, my friends. Have a great weekend and week. Goodbye.